G'day everyone, welcome back to Pete's Investing. Today is April 3rd, 2023. This is the nat gas price update. As we always do, we review the daily, the 4-hourly and the hourly charts. And you can see here on the daily chart, we're still in a pretty strong downtrend on the CCI 1500 with the moving average 400. On the hourly chart, that's also in a downtrend. You can see there with that red moving average still in decline. The only signs of potential bounce or support is this divergence on the 4-hour chart, and I'll drill down on that in a minute. But there's a bullish divergence on the 4-hour chart versus the price chart with a bearish divergence. First, let's go to the daily chart, and I'll zoom out. You can see here there's this key ascending diagonal trend line, and it's still respecting that level. Hasn't really broken through substantially yet on that support area, so I've got to keep a close eye on that on the daily. On the 4-hourly, I'll drill down on these in a bit more detail. What I've done here as well on the 4-hourly, for those new to the channel, I've put this Elliott wave count. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 is still playing out. In other words, we may see more of a downside to finish off this 5 count possibly. Now the 4 count hasn't gone as high enough as it should have to be more convincing. It should have broken to the downside around the 30 to 40% level. Instead, it's bounced down from the 23%, which is a pretty weak retrace to the upside on that level 3 count. So there's still potentially, it's a very weak signal, but it was still potentially down to finish off the 5th count. On the hourly chart, you can see there in more detail when I drill in. I've drawn a key resistance area up here and this key developing support area down here. So there's a Fibonacci retracement there. You can see there, end of last week, it bounced or hit the 23% retracement. But this morning, it actually gapped down quite substantially and respected this diagonal ascending trend line I spoke about earlier on the hourly chart. So it's fallen below that, and it's just in between that and the minor support area that's forming as we speak. So at the moment, it's looking fairly bearish for natural gas. Again, there's two main reasons for a potential bounce. Number one, it's that 4-hour divergence on the 4-hour chart, and secondly, we've got this, as I just showed you on the hourly, it's meeting a bit of support around this minor support and this diagonal ascending trend line. So at the moment, that's pretty much the only change that's made. It's a bit because of that gap during the start of this week. So at the moment, primarily short positions, especially if it falls below this dotted support area or much lower than this diagonal ascending trend line. To understand how to properly trade using the average down approach, reference the links in the description below. Subscribe and like the channel. Support us more on Patreon, and see you in the next video.